Well, for the first time in more than 3 years, the city of San Diego will be able to pay for the maintenance of the beach fire pits without private donations.
And joining us now from Mission Bay to talk about how this was made possible is City Council member Kevin Faulconer. Good evening, Kevin.
Sandra, good evening. How are you?
Good to see you. So this is a big deal because I remember you being on the morning news 3 years ago, and it was a real low point when that funding went away for the fire pits, wasn't it?
It was, Sandra, and I'll tell you, and then we had to have the community come together, private donations, as you just talked about, that kept these fire pits going. And today we just had a very important announcement because of a lot of the fiscal reforms that we've been doing and the surplus we're now going to have, even though as small as it is, that these fire pits, all of them, are going to be open all summer long in San Diegans. That's great news for everybody and for families who have been coming down to Mission Bay and our beaches who have enjoyed these fire pits. That San Diego tradition is going to continue.
Yeah, Kevin, as you said, it's good news not only to locals but to tourists as well. It means a lot to them, doesn't it?
You know, it sure does. And we had, some folks that have been jogging by and walking by. We have some young ladies who here from El Paso, Texas, who just came in and taking advantage of some marshmallows. It's hugely important. It's our San Diego brand. It's unique. It's Southern California. But I will tell you, so many stories, personal stories, of families and visitors alike who come down every summer, enjoy a fire pit, and the great news is they're going to be coming down and enjoying them all summer long.
And losing the funding for the fire pits 3 years ago is kind of symbolic of the financial crisis that we faced here in San Diego, but things have changed in that regard too. Tell us how these pits are now being funded, and does this mean that our potholes will be fixed and other improvement projects will be made in San Diego?
Well, I'll tell you, there's been a lot of good news this week, particularly because the budget surplus, which has allowed us not only for the fire pits, which is a relatively small amount of money, about $120,000, but the extra library hours that we've added, rec center hours. We're not out of the woods yet by any stretch of the imagination, and including some extra funding, Sandra, for street repair, particularly those potholes. My message has been very clear, along with my colleagues. We've made a lot of reforms that have been necessary, but we still have a ways to go to make sure that the dollars are invested in services just like this, where it's Mission Bay, our environment, our rec centers, our libraries. That's the good news we've been celebrating this week, and it's great news for all San Diegans.
And how many fire pits will the city maintain? Any idea on the numbers there? And also, again, you said until the end of the summer. Is this just seasonal or year-round?
It is. It's summertime. We're going to have them all open. Alan's 186 fire pits, so throughout Mission Bay, Fiesta Island, our beaches across the way. They're so important, and like I said, for a relatively small amount of money, and every dollar counts, we're going to make sure these are going strong all summer long.
Well, those little girls are going to town on those marshmallows. Now they just need some graham crackers and Hershey bars, and they'll have a real treat, huh?
I think there's some around here somewhere.
I
saw
bet
some
there
people
are.
with them earlier.
All right. Well, that is good news tonight.
Yeah.
Councilman Faulconer, thank you very much for the update on the fire pits being funded again by the city.
It's great news. It's a beautiful night out here.
Sure is. All right. Thanks a lot. See you later.